how my stars doing? It's Adrian with Starting Point. Today's guest star is founder and CEO of Keep Girls Safe, Miss Sein Lengeju. Miss Sein, thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a very very special honor to have you here. We're very excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So I guess my first question is what is the Keep Girls Safe Foundation about?
Keep Girls Safe Foundation is basically, I created it to be able to inspire breakthrough through cycles of violence that happen to young girls and women. And these cycles of violence literally include female genital mutilation, child marriages, and just the cultural way that a lot of cultures do use to oppress women and brainwash them thinking it's a culture.
So let's talk about the female genital cutting. What is that?
So female genital cutting or female genital mutilation or female circumcision is where they would take a woman's or a little girl's clitoris and cut the hood of the clitoria and cut the lips of the vagina and take them out. And there are four types of female genital mutilation that are known. The first type is tier 1, where they'll just cut either a little bit piece of the clitoris or a little bit of the hood, or one of each. And then the second one, they will cut the clitoris itself and the hood. And then the third one, they will cut the clitoris, the hood, and the lips of the vagina. And then sew it back together, and it turns out to be something flat, just like this. They have a small, really tiny hole like this for a menstrual period and for using the bathroom. And then type 4 will be where any piercing of the vagina, either tattooing of the vagina or anything that you put through your vagina, either on your clitoris or on the hood or any other way of altering. So the way the World Health Organization defines female genital mutilation is any altering of the female vagina is what is female genital mutilation. That is the term that the World Health Organization uses. Any little tiny of altering of your natural made vagina.
Wow. How is this act performed?
So this act is performed in the United States. It's performed in private homes. So that's why it's very difficult to be able to know when somebody is a victim or a survivor of female genital mutilation. And female genital mutilation has happened all over the world for decades. And actually in the United States to start, it used to happen until 1977 when it was covered by Blue Cross Blue Shield and doctors were performing it. It was legal then. Then the laws, a lot of activists started fighting against it, and in 1996 the law passed against female genital mutilation, and the law was enacted in 1997. So female genital mutilation is illegal in the United States. It's a federal crime, and we have 23 states, including Kansas, who have a law against female genital mutilation.
So who's performing the genital cutting if they're doing it in the homes?
It will be the parents of the children, or it will be the family of the children, or the family of the woman, because it happens between the age the children and women. And in Kansas right now, we have the numbers that were released in 2014 October by the Population Bureau or Human Services, or you can say CDC. The numbers that were released of the people that are very high prevalence, not survivors, high prevalence of getting it done or undergoing female genital mutilation in the entire country is 513,000 women and children who are in danger of undergoing female genital mutilation. Kansas itself has 4,171. And then Kansas City, Missouri, because it's one big metro area, has 3,078 women and children that are prevalent. Do I know how many people in Wichita, Kansas? I don't know, because I can only go with the statistics that we've been given. But I know for sure there's a lot of people who have prevalence. And what I can tell you, after female genital mutilation supposedly ended in the United States, the way it's been presented, and I have every reason to believe that it's true, but I also have every reason to believe that people originally that lived in the United States without being immigrants are also performing it. It's just that we don't know where they are. So the people that are known right now to be performing or high prevalence are immigrants from countries that practice female genital mutilation. They're the ones who have immigrated in the United States and are the ones who are practicing. For instance, when I immigrated to the United States from Kenya, I brought all my cultures with us. So like I pride myself with my outfits because that's my culture.
And I really like your outfit.
Thank you. I like to display my culture because I'm proud of it. But there are also some things that I'm not proud of, like the female genital mutilation, and it's a culture that we were all taught to do. We didn't know otherwise, and we did it.
So this is an African culture.
It's not really an African culture because it happens in Indonesia. It happens in Middle East. Some countries in the Middle East, for instance, we have 54 countries in Africa, only 30 countries. I'm saying only 30 countries because some people don't know that Africa isn't a continent. Some people believe Africa is one country. Some people think Africa is maybe a state like United States. So it's really different. And that is why I'm saying only 30 countries out of 54, because the way it's presented by people who don't know about the topic, they think it happens in the entire Africa. But we have 24 countries that don't know what female genital mutilation is, and they don't practice it.
So, in the Bible, God only ordered Abraham to circumcise the boys. So why now are girls being involved and it's never mentioned in the Quran either?
Good question. Thank you for asking that question. This is what I tell people. The first time, and this is research that I've been able to do it, the first time female genital mutilation or circumcision was mentioned is in Egypt. And you're right, it's not mentioned in the Quran, neither is it mentioned in the Bible. However, male circumcision is mentioned in the Bible and is mentioned in the Quran. And with the male circumcision, for the Muslims, a religion himself, it's a way of following the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad, who is Jesus, who they consider Jesus to be Prophet Muhammad. For Christianity,
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Prophet Muhammad is Jesus, so they follow the footsteps of Jesus. Okay, for women, it's not mentioned in the Quran, and it's not mentioned in the Christianity. So what we know, according to the studies, is that it started in Egypt. There was a sitting of male and women, and they wanted to differentiate between a male and a female because they all used to dress those long dresses like the way we see the portrayal of Jesus dressing. That's what they used to wear. And so the men and the women also had long hair and everything. And when they were sitting and making decisions, they would not be able to differentiate between a male and a female. And a male penis, when it's not erected, some of them can go up to 4 inches long. And a female clitoris can also go up to 4 inches long. So it was very difficult for them to be able, because a female clitoris erects exactly like a male penis. So, and that's science. I'm not an expert in that, but I just know what I have been able to do research on. So they were not able to differentiate, and that's when the men talked about it and figured out how to be able to do it. Reasons for performing female genital mutilation, it differs from where you come from. Some people say female genital mutilation is done to reduce the sexual urge. Some people say it's a way of preserving virginity. Some people say it's literally, some people say that for you to be able to be married in different cultures, specifically like my culture, you have to undergo female genital mutilation. Science does not agree with that at all. None of that information is agreed, and it's not medically necessary. Here in the United States in the 90s, in the 80s, and go back to 1977 and BCs and all those years when they were doing it, we have doctors that got their PhD by saying female genital mutilation does heal something like epilepsy, hysteria, and all that. Now we know that has been refuted, that science has been refuted, and it doesn't do that. It actually has more harmful effect to a woman than there's really no positive effect on it.
And it seemed like it would. So how does it affect pregnancy?
Well, great question again. A woman that has undergone female genital mutilation has so many issues. First, you have short-term issues, you have long-term issues. That is emotional, psychological issue, and you also have physical issues. For instance, psychological issues. A lot of people that have undergone female genital mutilation have PTSD because of the trauma they went through, but not all of them. Some people have been able to find coping mechanisms, just like anybody else that have gone through trauma. So the best way I can describe most people, and I'm not, this is just a blank statement I'm giving, most people that have gone through female genital mutilation have a similarity when it comes to emotional disturbances as someone who has been sexually abused. So although it's two different things, because this is being female genital mutilation is being done against your will, and also being raped is being done against your will. So they have that traumatic. But although we know that with sex trafficking or rape, they're not cutting anything away from you, but they're taking something away from you. So there's that similarity out there. So when it comes to the health impacts, a woman that's gone through female genital mutilation has so many problems. First of all, the worst case scenario is bleeding to death. There's a lot of UTIs that a woman will be able to go through because of affecting the nerves and the tissues around the hood and the clitoris. And then also what happens with a woman when it comes to giving birth. Let's say you had gone through tier 3. You remember tier 3 is taking everything out and and pushing it together. You have to be helped. The doctor has to go back and open you back up to be able to give birth. And everyone that has gone through that, tier 3, even tier 2, most of those people, you have a choice either to get it all up, open up. Most people will go for that, which a lot of doctors around here have not been able to deal with a lot of that, but we have few doctors that know a lot about female genital mutilation, especially doctors who have dealt with tropical medicine, because they've been able to travel out and they've seen that. And we have some specialists right here in the United States that have been able to even do constructive surgery for women who would like to do that. So those are a few things, but there's a lot of those medical issues. Menstrual period is also another thing. A woman that has gone through female genital mutilation has issues with their menstrual period, and a lot of so many other medical issues that someone can be able to get.
So with your foundation, have you received any backing from this? Like, do you have supporters and sponsors?
We are currently looking for sponsors. Right now, our sponsors are the general population, people that hear about this harmful act that is being performed to young girls and women against their will. And what I have noticed is that Kansas and the world in general care so much about women, and they want to end violence. And so they know that education is very important, and that's what we're trying to do. And we've had very good support. Last year was the first time that we did our fundraiser, and we did pretty well in the fundraiser. The fundraiser did not focus on Kansas. It focused in Africa, but this year our fundraiser is going to be focused in Kansas.
My mother supported your fundraiser.
Yes, he did.
She got my headband. I still love. I have my headband, and my son has the keychain, and I think my daughter has the wallet.
Yes.
So that was really cool.
Yes.
So, and I like my headband. So can there be anything done to reverse the effect of the female cutting?
Well, the only way to reverse, and that's a very, very difficult question to ask. When you take something away from someone, just think about it. You're whole. You are created whole.
Mm-hmm.
And someone decide to come and take something away from you. You're never going to be the same again. And even when you get reconstructive surgery, it's still not the same. So there's no way of reversing any of this thing. As much as we would like to say that reconstructive surgery can help a little, in my opinion, it's not going to help. I am a survivor of female genital mutilation, and I did not agree to. I don't. I've been offered to go through reconstructive surgery, but I don't want to go through it because I don't want to relieve the trauma. I think it's just relieving the trauma because of the healing process.
Do you remember?
I remember exactly everything that happened. It happened to me when I was 10 years old, and it was um, the worst thing that could have ever happened to anybody. Um, I really don't. Um, Walking through that, so basically what happened is I was called them. There was four ladies that came over there, and they poured cold water on me, on my body. That is a way of cooling my body because there's no anesthesia that is going to be used. And then of course I had two ladies holding me on the back, and another lady helping to open my legs really wide, like I'm one who was giving birth, and then the circumciser was sitting down there and doing her job, cutting my clitoris over there. I remember kicking and screaming and telling them, leave me alone, I don't want to go through this, please don't let me go through this. The next thing I know, I woke up and I was passed out. So when I passed out, my mom was out there, and I said to her, mommy, I am begging you, I know this has happened to me, I am begging you, don't let my daughter, my sister, and my two younger sisters who are after me, that follow me, please don't let them go through this. They're going to die. They're going to die. And by the time I was telling her, they had already gone through it too. So there's nothing she could have done. It was our culture, and she had to go through it. And I remember that like yesterday. It's the most painful thing that I normally don't like talking about, but I talk about it now to be able to help somebody out there that is afraid of talking about it.
So this is your coping mechanism.
This is my coping mechanism, and on top of that, I would like to be able to let the people that have gone through the female genital mutilation know that they're still whole. Even if someone took something away from them, they can still be somebody in this world. Because even if somebody took your power away, then they should never feel less. They should never feel unwanted. They should never feel isolated or afraid to speak about it. What I do, I channel that energy, the anger energy, because of what happened to me, to turn out something positive,
Yes.
to educate and make sure that no other child or other woman can go through what I went through.
You're married with children, correct?
Yes, I am married with 3 children.
Okay. So how is that? Like, is this something that you thought that you would have been able to have before, like with you going through such a traumatic experience? Did you ever think that you would be able to be married with children?
Well, in my culture, for you to be married, you have to go through female genital mutilation. If you don't go through female genital mutilation, then, not now, no man would want to marry you. It's encouraged, and men were told, do not marry, don't marry, and they would consider a woman a child. Despite the fact that they still consider women as children, that is another way of literally sending you away from your culture, which a lot of us don't want to be sent away from our culture, and that's how we did it. Because I remember asking my father just the other day, why did you let me go through this? You are a doctor, why did you let me go through this? You could have protected us. He said it was actually protecting you guys and us all to have a home, to have somewhere to call home. If I did not let you guys go through that, you would not have been able to have a home. I love my dad with all my heart. I feel that he protected us because what he did not do is this. In our culture, you get circumcised and then you're forced to get married. You don't continue with your education. So my dad knew that by sending us to a school, he will be giving us power back so that we can choose what we want to be in the future. So he encouraged education, paid for all of us to go to school, and that's how he and my mom were able to help us. Just because he did not have the power, here I am speaking about female genital mutilation. I've been able to save my own daughter from going through it. I protected my daughters because I have two now, and I have protected 20. I've been able with since I started this job, I can count that I've been able to protect 30 girls from going through female genital mutilation. I would not have been able to do that without the education that my father allowed me to go through.
Now, how long have you been doing the Keep Girls Safe Foundation?
Keep Girls Safe Foundation officially started in 2014, but prior to 2014, I've been supporting girls and women without even the 501c, with friends and my own personal funding, my own personal finances. I have kids at home that I sponsor. Before I even founded this, even before I started talking about female genital mutilation, because I believed that education was the only thing that gave me a voice, and I knew that helping them through education, one day, one time, they will find a voice. I didn't know how, any other way to help them, but to educate them, because that's the only thing that I know that has given me a voice to be able to speak about female genital mutilation. And of course, my faith in God has also given me the courage to be able to get out there, speak about female genital mutilation. And actually, this year, my friends were asking me, what is your New Year's resolution? And my New Year resolution, I used to pick my New Year resolution and write a list of what I want to be accomplished. And this year, I chose not to choose real resolution, but to choose guiding words. And the guiding words that I chose is courage and wisdom. The reason why I chose courage and wisdom is for God to be able to help me and give me the courage to speak about those things that are not spoken about. I will be visiting men and talking to them about female genital mutilation who are going to be intimidating, who are going to not want to talk about this. I'll be visiting women that don't want to talk about this because either they went through it and it's relieving trauma by themselves, or women or the community that does not know anything about female genital mutilation. So for God to give me the wisdom to find the words and the easiest way to break it down for them and tell them the reason why we have to fight about it, because for a long time we've been saying female genital mutilation is an out there problem, but it's really our problem because it's happening right here.
So, with your pursuit on trying to eliminate this issue, would you say that it's dangerous?
It's very dangerous, it's very harmful, it's a life sentence. Anyone that has gone through female genital mutilation.
I'm saying for you, like with you being the face of, you know, with you being the face now of the female cutting, people will know where to come to and stuff like that. Do you find yourself feeling like, I put myself in a situation, this is dangerous, or do you feel like that? Do you feel like you could potentially cause harm to yourself with this?
Well, I thought about that, but then I thought about that if I was in a place like at home in Africa, in Kenya, before the laws passed, I would have found myself putting myself in danger. Do I have people here who have told me not to talk about it from different countries yes, they tell me, why do you make noise about it? I went through it. What's a big deal about it? Don't make a big deal out of it. I'm not afraid about talking about female genital mutilation because, like Nelson Mandela said, I don't remember the entire quote, but you cannot, we should not let fear be our hinderer to bring change. If I'm going to continue staying afraid, how are we going to be able to save these children? If it will be my life, if I would exchange my life for saving even one girl, I would have served my life purpose in this world. And so I am not afraid because I know I serve a God that gives me wisdom, that protects me each and every day when I get up and go. I have walked in dangerous places and God has kept me alive, and I know He's going to keep me alive. I worked in prison where most people are afraid sometimes they'll never get out of there because anything can happen. He was able to get me out of there alive. The other day I met with an inmate, a former inmate that is out, and you know what? He embraced me because of the love of Christ that I gave him. I didn't look at him as an inmate. So what am I saying to you? I am not afraid because I know that I did not pick this work to do. but God ordained it for me to do. He called me, and this is my life purpose in this world. So, what I would like to say, I would like to encourage anyone out there that has ever been afraid about getting out of their comfort zone and do something to change their life. If you don't beat that fear is going to beat you. So you need to get out there and face it. You'd rather fail forward than failing backwards.
I like that. I really do. I like that. One thing I do want to ask you, and I hope you don't mind, is where are your parents now?
They're back in Kenya,
Okay.
and they're doing very well. My mom is a very big businesswoman. My dad is retired doctor, and they're doing great.
Okay. Cool. Then they know about what you're doing out here?
Oh yes, they know, and they support me 100%. I was in Kenya in summer, and we were able to build a house that is housing 25 girls that we're saving from female genital mutilation. So they're very supportive of that, and they actually, when I went there, they gave me a cow that I was able to sell to put money into the project.
Nice.
So they're really supportive of it because now there's a law and there's a lot of education and everything that has gone through that.
Okay. I like this. What are you doing to raise awareness on this issue?
So, what I am doing to raise awareness is I'm trying my level best. We have a website. It's www.keepgirlsafe.org. That website has a lot of information about what female genital mutilation is, what child marriage is, how you can do to help, and how you can do to help to be able to educate yourself. So to raise awareness, I've been speaking in so many different medias places. I've been speaking in schools, like I've spoken in Wichita State several times. I've spoken in KU. I've spoken in Missouri State University. I've spoken to legislators, and we're pushing a law right now. We have a law on female genital mutilation, but I'm pushing for an amendment, and that's House Bill 2358 to take out the age restrictions. Because right now the statute of limitation is only until the age of 18. After the age when you turn 18, then you're not protected, and there are women who are subjected to female genital mutilation after the age of 18. So that's what we're doing to raise awareness, and we have a Facebook page. It's just Keep Girls Safe Foundation. We update it and talk about female genital mutilation. But what we're hoping to do is to raise money, which we have a fundraiser coming up on March 26th, and I brought you something over here that has all that information, and that information is on the website.
Thank you.
It's going to be at Wichita State University, Radican Center, the ballroom, the beautiful new Bex room on Saturday, March 26th. It's going to be international style banquet. We're going to have music, we're going to have dances, and we're going to have a beautiful dinner, international dinner. So if you'd like to come and try that, you should. Tickets are $50 to come in. That's early bird. And then tickets from the 20th of March will be $55. We have VIP packages at $100 a ticket for VIP. We have students tickets for $35. And what we ask our people when they come to come and donate, so that we can be able to do this work. We hope to open an office coming May 1st here in Wichita somewhere. We are looking for partners. We're looking for in-kind donations. We're looking for volunteers. There's so many things that we can volunteer with. So if someone is interested in volunteering, they can contact us on the website. If someone is interested in volunteering or being our partner, we have so many ways we can be able to partner. Anybody that can be able to donate money or can be able to donate in-kind donation.
Where do we donate to?
You can donate online at www.keepgirlsafe.org. There's donation. You can go over there and make a donation, or you can write us a check, and you can contact us through our website, and we will tell you where to be able to send the check.
Nice. Well, Miss Sein, this has definitely been an inspiration for me. I hope that there was something on this show that could definitely encourage you or inspire you. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Starting Point. We'll see you next time.